From the monks of Tibet to the Mahamandleshwars of India, to the shamans of America, and with priests and preachers of every path, I have explored how we reach for contact with our soul. This quest across the planet and across all cultures brings us together in unity. However, we lack a common way to express our encounter with the touch of the soul, to find a simple way to help you experience the uplifting benefits of the love and joy of your soul, and to create a language so that you can understand that experience. I have written this book. I'm writing a book about the soul, and the soul is a mystery to us. So my very first chapter is called The Secret Life of the Soul, because although everyone has a soul, we really don't know much about the life of the soul. Some people claim to have accessed their soul in times of great danger when they feel the sense of their soul warning them. Some people reveal accessing their soul in times of great sorrow and feel it comforting them. And they may not have the word for it. And my hope is that as people read what I've written about the soul, if they've had those experiences, they'll remember them and be able to reframe them in the concept of the soul. In Eastern philosophy, the soul is sort of understood. But it's always understood without an explanation. In fact, that's one of the reasons I thought I should write this book, because as times have changed and more of what used to be called the ageless wisdom is being revealed, it's time for people to understand their whole being, not just their physical body, not just their emotions, not just their mind, but their spiritual nature too. And so this revelation is coming to us as we're seeing all the new books coming out about the soul and talking about the soul, as more and more people are trying to put words to that which has previously been virtually impossible to describe. People try to express their soul through spirituality, through poetry, and through music, because the nature of the soul is the expression of the fullness of your being beyond your five senses. And so it's natural that music, expressing joy, expressing celebration, poetry, expressing love and depth, are all expressions of the soul. One of the interesting things about the soul is when people talk about it, there's always with an assumption that they know about it. Well, of course you know what the soul is. And on some level you do, but not with words that you can explain. And in fact, this has been one of the big challenges I have had. Well, how do I explain something I know so deeply and so profoundly in a way that it can communicate to others? The soul does not have a dogma. The soul does not have a doctrine. The soul does not have a denomination, and it will speak to you through whatever mechanism works in your life, whatever words work in your life. It will come to you through a flow, through a sense, in a quiet moment, when you least expect it. And you don't have to believe in the soul for it to be there for you. It requires absolutely no belief. It requires nothing from you. And yet it's available to you at your invitation. And the concept of invitation is a concept I work on in the book a lot. Because to develop a relationship with your soul, you have to approach it like you would approach any meaningful relationship, with a sense of openness and willingness and invitation. Intention and invitation are, in my opinion, two of the most important things in developing a relationship with your soul. But even if you completely reject the concept of soul, you will find times in your life where there's a particular energy, a particular flow, a particular sense, a particular awareness. And even if you never call it the soul, that doesn't mean it isn't your soul giving you that and doing that with you and cooperating in the adventure of your life. And as I began to look into that, I thought, here is something we all experience, we all sense, and we don't really have a language for expressing it. And it was to begin to develop a language. And I'm having to begin to develop that language, that I'm creating the book on the soul. Exactly how it functions in life, we have to begin to explore. That's why I often refer to looking back to the times where you have felt this sense, and then coming up with words that communicate that. Because we don't have a language that reflects the soul outside of poetry. Even in the Bible, if you want to find references to the soul, you pretty much have to go to the Psalms. Again, poetry written by King David, who had a relationship with the soul, but otherwise it's referred to, but not really expressed. And that's why I thought a book on the soul would be important.